We are still discussing about the election violence that has marred the electoral process, especially in the last election. And of course, we have Mr. Matthew Oluku, who is still here with us, a public affairs analyst. And of course, we'll be having a conversation with Mr. Kelly Ogbaloy, who is the chairman, Labour Party in Edo State, giving us his perspective as regards the election violence that happened in Edo State. But of course, before we go into all of that, we will be playing you a short video clips, and then when we come back, we'll talk more on that. Please take a listen.
This one are for president. Now see, my people. See, I'm already do what for. Already do what for. Already do what for. Madam, what happened?
We there here, we can't vote. Before we know, Abaseki carry motor come. As it come, the other people have scatter everything. Now Abaseki next one.
Who the Obaseki as in who? Our
State
governor.
governor.
Are you sure you saw him?
Yes, nice one. I regret voting for him. I voted for him in the second term. I regret voting for him.
Now,
Give me one, nothing.
now, my people, this is the situation here. What happened?
Voting. We are not pretending to vote.
No, it's a make.
People are coming to hijack ballot boxes without no.
Now, our people, our viewers, I told the people to stand by on my page. That we will be bringing you updates on my.
All right, thank you so much. And of course, that was the video violence that was paraded, especially in Edo State. But first, let's get Mr. Kelly Ogbaloy's view on that. Mr. Kelly Ogbaloy, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
All right, thank you so much for joining us. So give us your perspective as regards the election violence that was experienced in Edo State.
Well, thank you for having me. Capacity to be patient. I'm sorry, but I must tell you that experience in Edo State is very disturbing. I never imagined that at the rates of INEC and the law enforcement agencies, the enlightenment, the experiences we have had in the past, and nobody has learned anything from it. It is because you found out that the government in Edo State went berserk and destroyed polling booth sets and even resolved ballot papers were all mercilessly, judged by the whole of them. If you look at the goal, even though we are winning or we have won the place, the experience was horrible. It was not expected, and it was so in all the cities. If you go to Akoko Edo, you find out that as I speak with you now, the result with God or the result with God which gave clear winning to our candidates that local government were so badly doctored, and the result handed over to the opposition party APC as we speak. So the consideration is that we head for court now because there's nothing to show that we didn't win that election. And this was again arising from the melee delicately caused by the government of APC and the government of PDP in those in collusion. And then out of that was that they were able to manipulate and send the wrong result to INEC. And I'm surprised that INEC is going on with that kind of a result. So we are standing against it. If you go to River State, you also find out that that is what happened. If you go to Lagos, that is unthinkable what happened in Lagos. Of course, there were 10 cases where people underage were operating, and when the police were accosted, they gave an excuse that you can't determine the age and the disease of the people, which was also a collaboration with all of us. So it's quite a very disturbing situation. We have had sleepless nights, and the worry is that if Nigeria is still at this level, then I wonder where we are going, how we are going to be able to map with the terrible thing that happened.
All right, so now as a Labour chairman in your state, Edo State, a video we just played shortly showed that some INEC officers were giving account of what happened, especially when the governor allegedly showed up and of course scattered the whole scene. And of course made sure that the ballot boxes were all scattered, the ballot papers were all littered around. And what do you think about such situation? Looking at it from the angle of a governor being alleged to have been, the cause of such situation, who might have perpetrated that situation. What's your take on that?
my take is if that is coming from a very civilized, society like ours, where there's less like governor and all of that happens, it's unreasonable. It's very unreasonable on the part of the civilized person to be engaged in such acts of, undescribable death, which of course we should, we should of course advocate against. But of course that is what we saw. But I think it's simply that there was mistake in the first place in placing these people, at top of the administration of the government of the business society.
All right, now let me move over to you, Mr. Matthew. Looking at the situation, it's such, an embarrassment, especially looking at the situation of things, especially from the angle of a governor coming there to disrupt the electoral process. What do you envisage when it comes to the governorship election?
The average Nigerian politician is unfortunate, is desperate. And that desperation pushes them into a character that's unbecoming of a leader. And it's quite unfortunate because if you see in the video, you hear the girl saying she voted for him and that she regretted voting for him. So our Nigerian politicians, they are fond of doing all manner of things to ensure they circumvent the process, especially in areas where they think they are not popular. But I think what may have triggered the governor to storm the scene is perhaps maybe that area may be his abode, and he may feel it to be embarrassing losing his immediate environment. But it doesn't matter because for me, this is an election that has a guideline, that has a rule. There's a letter guiding it. So it's not something you compel people to vote for you. The only way you can earn the people's confidence and support is if you feel the candidate that the people want. Otherwise, if the people decide to vote for other candidate other than the candidate or the choice of the governor, I don't think the governor should be desperate to start disrupting the process. I've seen from some reports in some part of the country where a governor will be losing his polling unit to another political party. I don't think the governor should be honorable enough to accept the defeat if that's the case.
All right, we'll come to you on that shortly. But let's quickly take Comrade Obalo because he's running out of time. Comrade, are you there?
Yes.
All right, so finally, before we let you go, that election that was marred with violence on Saturday was more of a presidential and, of course, other senatorial seat and all of that. What do you envisage a governor of that magnitude doing when it comes to the governorship election?
First, we will not be extinguished. If it comes to governorship election, we will not be extinguished if we allow it to continue the way it's going. I expect that a governor of that status should by now be civilized. A governor who share for the sympathy of the populace of those states when we thought that he was unjustly treated, but we saw that in the way he went about this election is unacceptable, and then such person should not be allowed to be at the helm of affairs of any society. No more should that happen again. That's my feeling, because his desperation is so apparent. Why do you want to be government by force? Why do you want to do that? What exactly do you have in there that you must be in to do each of the time? So I don't get it. The essence of his destination, when the government is established, it ceases to be partisan as such. But yeah, this one cannot differentiate between governance and politics. So we could not expect anything less, when it comes to governorship election.
Thank you so much.
However, they are likely to have the people to contend with when it comes up.
Thank you so much, Comrade Kelly Obalo, for sharing your perspective with us on the matter.
Thank you.
All right, so finally, what's your take as regards this, especially seeing what a governor could do and we averting such situations that might likely happen in the governorship election coming up shortly?
The only way you can avert such ugly tendency is for the security agencies to be proactive. Because if the security agencies were proactive, but unfortunately the governor have a security detail and is at liberty to move with his security detail even on the day of election. Though I have instances where security agency will stop a particular governor moving beyond his jurisdiction. But however I look at it, I think the burden of addressing such challenge rely on the security agencies to be proactive, irrespective of who else is God, irrespective of who is involved, that is trying to sacrifice the process. They should rise to the occasion and restrain the person.